A report released earlier this month by the Institute of Medicine says most people aren't capable of making end-of-life decisions when they are in a health crisis. And so planning ahead is the best way to ensure patients' goals are aligned with the care they actually receive. Joining me to talk about advanced directives is John Tosted. He is program coordinator for the Advanced Care Department at Sharp Healthcare. John, what is an advanced directive?
Thanks, Amitha. Advanced directive is really clear and convincing evidence of a person's preferences for their health care. It names a primary healthcare decision maker, a healthcare agent, that if you as an individual become unable to make your healthcare decisions for yourself, that's your go-to person, your spokesperson, sometimes they're called durable power of attorney for healthcare.
So is it a legal document?
It's a legal document, yeah. It's witnessed appropriately, signed, and it contains information about a person's preferences related to healthcare.
Why are they so important?
Well, oftentimes if we have to speculate as to what a person's preferences for healthcare toward the end of their life are, it leads to a sort of bedside guessing game where we're wondering, wow, what would this person want us to do or not do in an effort to prolong their life or not prolong their life? And an advanced healthcare directive names that primary healthcare agent to be the spokesperson whose role is to honor that individual's preferences for their healthcare. And then that document contains, as much as possible, clear and convincing evidence about what you would want or not want for medical treatment.
So talk a little bit about what your department does.
We initiate conversations with people all across San Diego through community events and health fairs, and different types of organizations will invite us in to talk about the importance of advanced care planning. We initiate the conversation with people who are dealing suddenly with a new diagnosis of a chronic illness or a healthcare challenge. And how are they then going to navigate healthcare decision making in light of a new diagnosis?
So we have some tape of one of these conversations with healthcare planner Teresa Vaughn. She speaks with the Berlaza family about husband and father Pepito Berlaza. At the time of this conversation, Pepito had lived in a vegetative state for over a decade. Let's listen to it.
Mom, does he still have the do not resuscitate if something happens to him?
Meaning if his heart...
Oh, they're not going to do that.
Bring him back.
Okay.
Did you sign that? Is that what Dad has?
I think so. I don't know. I think I did already.
So what it would be is if his heart stops and his breathing stops, even being on there, would you want the team there to perform, to resuscitate him, to perform CPR to attempt resuscitation?
I think it's dangerous for him to be, because he's weak and he's not so strong anymore.
Yeah, so I believe that's what it is, and that's what I meant by baby steps. I think he does have the do not resuscitate and the morphine.
Okay.
So those are those little baby steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So John, just weeks after that conversation, Pepito's heart did stop and he passed away. How tough is it to have these conversations with families?
Well, Teresa does a very skillful job of engaging with people, exploring their values and their beliefs, and how they would relate to healthcare decisions. And the decision to attempt resuscitation or to not attempt resuscitation is a very, very tender conversation. A person's values, beliefs, their cultural background, their religious perspective all need to be considered with regards to whether or not an individual would want to attempt resuscitation. And in that conversation, something came up that was particularly important, and that is the efficacy of attempting CPR on someone who is chronically or critically ill. And really, CPR is not very effective for people who are dealing with late-stage illness, much less effective than most people think. So that conversation about how effective, what the statistical probabilities might be, what the burdens might be, and what the benefits potentially could be, it takes time and takes a great deal of skill to engage in those kinds of conversations.
But just because you have an advance directive doesn't mean that your wishes will be carried out, or does it?
Well, regarding the advance directive, it's more of an overarching kind of a general guideline with regards to a person's preferences for end-of-life care. The conversation that we saw taking place with Teresa's skilled facilitation is really more about what might be called a POLST form, or a physician's order for life-sustaining treatment. And that's a medical order that requires adherence to by emergency medical personnel and healthcare providers. physician's order for life-sustaining treatment, or the PULSed form. And that's directly related to attempting or not attempting CPR, if the heart should stop or the breathing should stop. It also contains information regarding a person's preferences related to care, levels of care or treatment that they would want. So that's a very specific order.
And very quickly, how many people have these advanced directives?
Well, most people, the vast majority of Californians in a 2012 survey indicated that they felt it was important to have their wishes in writing. And really less than 30% of Californians have ever taken the step to do so. And even those that have done it, typically it's been done with an attorney as a part of their estate planning, which is a great place to start, but that document often gets kind of filed away and isn't really a tool for healthcare decision making. So we say you should blow the dust off of that and review that document periodically.
John, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Great.
People who
Thanks,
want to learn
Amanda.
more about this can go to inewsource.org.
Thanks.